SHE Publishing LLC is a publishing and retail company founded during the COVID-19 pandemic. Through collaboration with our authors, we found that sharing your story may not only be a personal goal, but it serves as preserving your history. It creates a legacy. From the first contact, we welcome our authors by sending them a box of goodies that include our branded apparel, and we deliver white glove service until the completion of their project. We call this the SHE experience. We also serve as a support system after the book is published by continuing to market our authors by way of our books and business newsletters and social media platforms with the hopes of creating a network. We wow our authors and their readers with our custom publishing packaging, which is a bonus. We believe first impressions matter. We also host what will become the largest attended and talked about event of every year, our annual marketing and networking conference, where we honor our authors with awards and we provide entertainment, fun, and education. We invest in the authors who want to become publishers, providing them free how to become a publisher training, sharing every step we've taken to build our company. And finally, as an investment in our future leaders, we've launched the Little SHE Project, which will promote reading, authorship for our children, and funding for schools around the world. Let SHE Publishing LLC be your extended family. Be a part of our community of authors, sister companies, partners, or simply a friend. Everybody has a story to tell. Share your story with the world. Hey. Welcome to the ShePub Network, where we talk books, authors, and publishers. I am Shanita Finesse, CEO and founder of SHE Publishing LLC. And as you guys know, for the month of October, we have been introducing you to a number of our authors. And today, you're going to get a combination of authors from 2021 and new authors from 2022. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Y'all knows what time it is. All right. So we about to have y'all. Okay, so we have 3 authors. We are waiting for Antonius, but that's okay. That's okay, because he's one of our authors who you guys have seen before. So today we're going to introduce the authors that you guys will be who will be sharing their stories today. There you go. What's up, Antonius? How are you?
Whew, I'm fine. Hello, everybody. How you doing?
You just coming from work or something? All right, so we have Antonius who's here. We also have Mr. Gregory Davis. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? How's everybody?
Good. And then we have the Dr. Calenthia Miller. How are you?
I'm wonderfully well. Thank you for asking.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to start off with a quote, and I'm just going to go around and see how you guys feel about this quote. What is your aspect of what this means? Okay, and here it goes. Always make new mistakes, by Esther Dyson. I'm going to say it again. Always make new mistakes. What does that mean? And anybody can go first.
For me, it means don't be afraid to fail. Keep trying until you get it right.
I like that.
I think for me, it means that you're okay to fall, but it's how you get up, how you rebound. So,
Well,
Well,
for me, I think it means if you don't try, I mean, if you don't try, then you can't succeed. So I think before any major success is failure. I think failure builds character. So I think it's a part of the process.
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Well, look, y'all heard it. What they said. What they said. All right, so we are going to get started. I just wanted to show your faces, let everybody know that I will be interviewing each and every one of you individually. So now we are going to take it to the Dr. Calenthia Miller. So fellas, ladies first, okay? Ladies first. So I'll see y'all in a second. All right, so I think we've been talking a little bit before the show. I don't think we've ever met before.
no, we have not. We have not met. We've met over the phone, but I feel like there was a kindred spirit when we talked.
Yes, like we talked for
Almost an
quite
hour.
some time,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, about an
And
hour.
so where are you from?
I was born in Gary, Indiana, grew up on the west side of Chicago, moved to Virginia, stayed there for 22 and a half years, and relocated and bounced back here in North Carolina. So I've been here for about 2.5 years.
Wow. So how did you find out about us? Because today on today's show, we have you from North Carolina, we have someone from Texas, and we have someone from the SHE. So how did you find out about She Publishing LLC?
Well, actually, you guys are going to be honoring Elosia Moore Hatley. She's my best
Yes.
friend. So she told me about your publishing company, and she knows I'm very finicky about presentation. And so when she presented it to me, she said, I know what you're looking for." And when I started reading a lot of the stuff on the website, I was like, okay, this is really an aspect of family. And I wanted that for this book. And so when I had the opportunity for you to actually reach out to me
Mm-hmm.
personally, that let me know this is where I needed to be.
Wow. Well, man, thank you for I'm grateful to have you a part of the She Squad. And we were talking earlier, and so we should see you on some of our book tours soon, right?
Yes, ma'am. I will be
All
there.
right. So Miss Hatley, she's here. She's on the line. She's saying, "Hey, fellow authors." We also have Patrice on the line. She says she is very proud of you,
Oh,
Sister Calenthia.
thank you.
All right. So one of the things I want the audience to know, definitely put your name, where you're from, and who invited you, because as you know, the authors that are on the ShePub Network tonight, they are nominees for the ShePub Network Award, and that will be presented to them November 18th at our masquerade. So hope to see you guys there as well. Now, can you tell us, when did you start writing?
I've probably been writing since I was very young. Probably about 9 or 10, I started doing a little bit of poetry, just free writing, just to clear my mind. I kind
Mhm.
of put it down when I had children, and a major event happened to me in January where I needed to find a clear space for me where I can
Mhm.
not feel like I was so stressed out. And so I went back to writing.
Wow. And okay, in the midst of that, where did the doctor, where did that come in? Because you are a doctor, and that's huge.
Um,
That speaks
so
volumes.
so in between children and education has always been a big platform for me. I always tell my children, once you have education, nobody can take that away. So I've always been a book person. So in between working full time, being a mom full time, I decided, between my bachelor's, well, my associates, my bachelor's, and my master's, I think I've gotten all 4 degrees in about 6.5 years. So, yeah. So
Oh,
yeah. So I love to learn. So in between this last doctorate, it was challenging because I was moving and opening up a brand new practice. So it was a lot. And in between that, I had a brain injury. So it was a lot, but through it all, I made it. So
Right. That's awesome. You know, we as women, we're so strong, and we do so much. When we are really not well, sometimes we kind of push through. And while I'm actually talking about that, because I started reading your book,
oh, okay.
and I was just like, this is what a lot of women are doing, pushing through. And in the midst of that, I don't know if it was a love triangle. I don't know. And I'm not going to even get into it right now, but can you tell the viewers what's the name of your book?
Unmask.
All right. And why did you decide to title it that?
I think we hide behind so much as women. We always are trying to get ahead, but we're kind of not seen. So
Mhm.
I titled Unmasked because I wanted to come from behind that shadow. I wanted to showcase what God gave me, this platform to be able to speak to other people, to be able to let people know that our stigma about the Black community is not what it is. We are family oriented. There are fathers in the homes. There are grandparents that are here to assist with raising those children. So I wanted people to understand that we do have a story, and this platform is allowing me to showcase that.
Wow. Well, I'm just gonna say, yeah, this must have been meant to be for you to be a part of She at this particular moment, because that's actually the theme of this year's She conference and networking convention. Is we all gonna be wearing masks, so
Yeah.
you gonna let us know how to remove that mask, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, and viewers, if you have questions, ask the questions, because we want to get to know. We want to get to know Calenthia, and so some people are saying hi, bestie. Well, you know who that is. Who said that?
Yes.
Aunt Pat watching. Let's see.
Cool.
You got Gloria Townsend. She says, "I'm proud of you, sis."
Oh,
Now, is there someone else in your family named Calenthia?
my mom. Mhm.
Your mother is here.
Thank
Wow. Okay. All right. So it sounds like you got about 3 or 4 books inside of you. So with this first book, how long did it take you to write that book?
4 weeks. 4 weeks. About 4 weeks.
Okay. And can you tell us, don't be a spoiler, but can you tell us a little bit about, is it a true story? Is it fiction? Is it inspired by a true story? And just a little bit about what it's about.
So it's inspired about I had a stroke in January of this year. So some of the pieces of the book is about that challenging process of going through that, but also dealing with depression, because when you're used to being working since you were 14 years old and people have to do things for you, it becomes a very depressive state. So all of the characters, I made them up, but one in particular is me in a sense, is which is Anya. So she has bits and pieces of me in her. But it's just really talking about the struggle and how family is so important to have around when you're going through so many different things. So it's a lot of it has to do with me, but also other people who I've talked to, putting their spin on things in this book as well too.
Okay, yeah, I thought there was a really creative way in how you actually wrote the book, because it starts with your perspective, but then it goes into someone else's perspective, and then it goes into someone else's perspective. And I'm like, that was pretty cool,
Yeah.
the way you did that. And, you know, as the publisher, I can't always read everybody's book, but I definitely try to get a little taste of what's happening. And with your book, it was like, the books have been amazing for me.
Mhm.
And I could actually relate to the book. When you're able to relate to a book where
Mhm.
you're just going and going and going and going, and you're not stopping, but something stops you, you know, your health. All right, so let's see. So what you're telling me is this book is inspired by a true story.
Yes, to a certain degree, not all of it.
Okay.
Some bits and pieces of it is, but the majority of it is really speaking to mental health. We don't talk about that enough,
Okay.
especially in the Black community. You know, that saying is what happens in the household stays in the household. Nobody wants to pay for anybody to tell them what to do or listen to their problems. So it's just really putting it out there that it's okay to talk to somebody else. It's okay that we're all going through things, but how do we get to the point where we are okay with saying that we need help, you know? So
Right. Now, will you be at the conference? That's November 18th.
I
All
will.
right. So people will be able to pre-order your book probably there.
Yeah.
All right. And so I just have just really two more things because I want people to come out and support you and support what your fellow sister and brothers in authorship are doing. But I just want to let the ladies know and the men. Okay. I need a question. I need a question from the audience to ask Calenthia, and whoever asks the question first. Okay. We are giving away prizes. Okay. Now this right here, your wife or you or your girlfriend is going to love it. Okay. Because this is lipstick. I think we all know that, right? But this right here is cool. Now, who has the question and who's going to give someone a gift, a free gift that's coming from She Publishing LLC? So I know somebody has a question because I see all these comments. I love all the names in the book. So hold up, somebody done got a sneak peek of the book. And Patrice said, I love the different characters and not so many that you can't keep up with their stories. All right. So how can anybody, if they want to get so your book is still not, it's not completed just yet.
Yes.
They will be able to do pre-orders. So they'll be able to get your book from the She Shop, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, whoever else wants to pick it up. But if someone wants to connect with you, how can they do that?
They can actually go to email me at drcalenthiamiller@gmail.com. You can send something there, and I'm always able to respond there. I have not had I don't have a platform yet. I'm still learning that technology. I'm trying to get my youngest child to get his mom on that page, but we're working on it.
Well, that is great. Okay, so look, we have a question for you.
Okay.
And so, Marcia, I hope I didn't butcher your name, but the question is, what was or is the most challenging part of the book for you to write? I'm going to repeat that question. What was or is the most challenging part of the book for you to write? That's a really great question.
You know what? To actually know how you have to talk about yourself, that was kind of hard for me. It was easy for me to write the book itself, the characters itself, but actually writing about myself was hard. So I think just writing about the author was kind of challenging for me.
Wow. Well, you've won yourself one of these lipsticks. So I am going to either inbox you so you can get this. Thank you for participating. And thank you, Calenthia, for coming on and joining us on the ShePub Network.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
Yes.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that was Calenthia. And so definitely continue to support her. If anybody else is jumping on, again, just put in your name, where you're from, and who invited you. Because again, the authors being on the ShePub Network is they are being included in the ShePub Network Award. They're a nominee. All right, so we're about to move to one of our seasoned authors. His name is Antonius Finch, and I'm going to let him introduce himself. Okay. I'm like, am I gonna have to keep going? You gonna do us like that?
No, of course not. Of course not.
So how you been doing?
I've been doing fine. How are you?
Great. So now you have a book. You've published a book with SHE Publishing. And first of all, where are you from?
From Chicago, Illinois, the South Side to be exact. The 71st in Ashland area to 71st in Damon, 71st to 74th. I grew up in the West Inglewood community.
Wow, okay. And we found out last year that we have something in common.
Indeed, we do.
And what is that?
We attended high school together, but never saw each other.
We're walking around the building. Not that, I just can't believe that.
Exactly.
Because I know you were loud and obnoxious, right?
Oh, my nickname is Smooth. So I was never loud and obnoxious. I was an athlete, a writer, and a scholar, so I just played my position and very observant. The question was, what were you doing that I didn't notice you all those years?
Well, I was on the pom-pom team,
Really?
the band. I was on the flag team.
Okay.
And I was a bookie too. Now I was getting A's and B's.
So was I.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 3.65, something like that.
Okay. All right. Look, I really like it when you have men who are, doing their thing. I really admire that. Now it sounds like you've been writing for a minute.
Yes, indeed.
You used to write the paper, the school.
Yes, I used to write for my high school newspaper, The Curiosity. Okay. I've always written poems and different things like that. I use writing as a way to express myself.
Wow.
I write the letters.
And we know about those now.
Exactly.
So your first book is entitled Finch Files.
Yes.
Can you let the viewers know, why did you name your poetry book Finch Files?
It wasn't a poetry book. It was more of a book of short stories. Originally, I was writing a blog, and I converted the blog into a book. So that was the way that the Finch Files came about. Well, that was where some of the stories came from. But what made me really write the book is I was going through a bad breakup. I needed a way to express myself. You're entitled to your emotions, but you have to be responsible for how you express them. So I chose to express mine through writing.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So just to let you know, Patrice is asking a question. What high school did you attend?
I attended Curie High School.
And where's that located? Because we both attended that high school.
Yeah, that's on the corner of Archer and Pulaski, 49th and Pulaski to be exact.
Yeah. And also, Don is saying Big Smooth.
Thank you.
All right. So, and I think I may have asked you this last year. If you guys have not seen Finch's Antonius's book, let me see if I could pull it up.
It's actually
you have it?
No. I said it's actually behind you on the wall. I'm looking at the cover.
It sure is. There it is, right there. Yeah. This is it, you guys. And short stories from a Chi-Town Inglewood blogger. And if you don't have this book, you definitely need to order this book. You can order it from the She Shop, Amazon, probably Barnes and Nobles. I think he sold out in Target maybe once or twice. You have to get this book. And for me, it touched so many different topics. It touched death, it touched relationships, and then like it kind of gave me a sense of like the things that you're going through as a Black man. And so I'm a woman, so I don't know the things that you guys go through. Women don't. So to have that and to be able to read that, it's a better understanding. So to my understanding, one of those poems was about a girlfriend of yours.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so what's the verdict?
Um,
Okay, I shouldn't ask the question. I'm sorry.
it's funny that you asked that question. You know, you can never say what the verdict is because you would be saying things of this finality. You know, so as long as you wake up every day, life is so unpredictable that you never know what the day holds. You know, but
Yeah.
at this point, as of right now, we're in a great space. I'm in a great space.
Mm-hmm.
So I welcome, whatever life has to bring.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know, Melissa Simmons, she said she has the book. Patricia wants to know, is the book Audible as well?
At this time, no, but that is a great idea. So that's something that we can collab on to see if we can do that.
Yeah, we can. We absolutely can do that and make that happen.
Okay.
So today, I just want the viewers to know that someone will be getting a free copy of Finch Files. So just because you have the copy already doesn't mean you can't like bless someone else with a copy of the book. I like the book. And as you said, it started as a blog. So do you still have that blog?
I stopped writing that blog. Okay.
Okay.
I've written over 35 to 40 more short stories. It's just a way to express myself. It's a way to it makes me feel good. Like some people have their vices, so that's my vice right there. So basically, in trying to become a better person daily, you have to do things that stimulate you. So a lot of people like to stimulate their bodies. I like to stimulate mine as well, but I also like to stimulate my mind. That keeps me sharp, keeps me fresh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
So I'm sure the readers want to know what's the next thing on the agenda. Do you have a second book on the horizon?
I do. The new book will be available for the holidays. It's called The Allure.
Whoa.
Yes. This book is about a guy from the south side of Chicago who grew up in the urban area, all right, who graduated from college, but is drawn to the allure of the streets. So he has everything paved out for him, but his loyalty to his neighborhood can sometimes prove to be detrimental. And his loyalty and his desire to see some of the people that he grew up with, excel in life, it pulls him back somewhere where he escaped. And he finds himself sometimes going in circles with battling being the person he was destined to be and his loyalty to his neighborhood.
Wow. Okay, that sounds like it's going to be deep. That sounds like it's going to be an amazing read as well. Hopefully
I put a lot of time and effort into it.
Yeah. Is this a fiction story?
Each book that I write has a little fiction to it, but it also has a lot of reality to it. I think that's what connects me with the reader. People like to read something that they can relate to. So.
All right. So I believe it's Claudette. She said, "Do your thing, cuz. Thanks for sharing your world." And let me see. And Patrice. So how did you decide on the what is that?
On the title.
On the tour of the new book?
Okay. Well, actually, I was listening to Jay-Z, and he has a song called Allure. And in that song, he talks about his loyalty, even though he's trying to remove himself from the pitfalls, because if you play with fire long enough, eventually you'll be burned. So he's risking his everything that he's accomplished and is working towards for his loyalty. So that's a thin line that us as men, we have to navigate. So it's a little reality into that as well.
Okay. And thank you, Patrice. Okay, because I'm like, man, is this a word that I'm not sure on or what?
It's like
This title. She wanted to know, so how did you decide on the title of the new book? So yeah.
So that was the name of the song. I looked up what the word allure means to make sure that I had a clear, concise understanding, and it could have been titled The Temptation. They're both synonyms, so it could go hand. But allure, that word is a little bit more mystique, a little bit more mysterious. It's not as commonly used as some other words. So,
okay. So I know you probably have not thought this far yet. I don't know. Maybe you have. Do you see Allure as a movie?
Actually, I do. I see it as a series. I watch Country Wayne every day on social media, and all of his skits are 3 to 4 minutes. And from some people that I know in my neighborhood and some people that I know outside of my neighborhood from my different walks of life, once the book is up and running, that is the next plan to start doing little skits based on different parts of the book and see where that can go.
Wow. So who do you see as characters in that movie?
Oh, I could easily answer that. Of course, myself, you, of course. I see, Melissa. I could see Don. There's a few other people from my neighborhood, that I could see playing roles. I could see my friend Damien playing a role in it. I can see my brother playing a role, my sons. I mean, it's roles for everyone. It's going to be a role for everyone to get some type of exposure if they would like it.
And so what about Melissa? Is she going to be in there?
Of course. Melissa's like a sister to me, She will. I have a role carved out for her. She's like a sister to me. So yes, she would be in it,
Well, look, that would be an amazing opportunity. So I think we're going to have to make that happen, right?
Yes. I have a quick question for you.
All right.
Are you do you have any ShePub accessories now that the winter time is coming? I asked you this before. I would love to have a skull hat or a ShePub, sweater just to promote the business. It's a privilege and an honor to see an African American lady start her own publishing company. So I would like to do whatever I can as an African American man to help your company excel.
Wow, man. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And yes, I remember you saying that last year, and I will have some apparel at the conference.
Thank you.
At the SHE Conference and Networking Convention. And, I always appreciate when, because we collaborating. Yes, I'm the publisher, you're the writer, but it's like we want to see everybody be where they want to be. Yeah, we want to see everybody win. And so I love it that we can collaborate and it's like a family type of a situation. I admire you guys. I think I was telling someone that your books, you guys' books have been like therapy to me because I'm human too. And sometimes you want to get a glimpse of what is a male's perspective on something or, just different things that we go through in life. And Brandon, Brandon, he is saying he's putting up the arms, whatever that means, y'all. I'm not good with the emojis and stuff.
I'm
So
sure.
I don't know.
You
But
probably,
yeah, so we're gonna have them. And I just want you guys to know that Antonius was the 2021 ShePub Network Award winner, okay? Because his interview last time, so many people was like, look, can we get him back on? We want to know more about the book. We read like a piece in the book and people was like, we want to see more.
Yeah.
So he is going to be presenting the award for the 2022
I am.
ShePub Network Award. So come out, support him. It's November 18th. It's in Orland Park, Illinois at the Elements, if you guys will be around. So this is my final question for you is, how can people connect with you?
Oh, that's great. That's great. You can find me on LinkedIn. I did my name, Antonius Finch. You can also find me on social media. I'm creating an author page, so that page will be up tomorrow under Antonius Finch. Yeah, so LinkedIn or LinkedIn preferably, you know.
Okay.
So yes.
All right. So stay tuned for his book that's coming, as well as Finch Files, because they're all, I'm sure that second one is going to be just as amazing as the first set of short stories. So thank you for being a part of the She family, and thank you for again interviewing on the ShePub Network. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the opportunity. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Have a good day.
You too. All right. Now, for the final interview of the evening, you guys, thank you for coming to and showing support of the community of authors that we have on She Publishing LLC. We were actually, just to let you guys know, we were actually in Texas, so we do book tours, and I am hoping for all of us to be a part of the book tours that we do. Number one, so we can market the book. So we're not publicists, but we do want to see, as Antonius mentioned, we do want to see everybody win. And when we were in Texas, we were there, we were doing our thing. I think we had the opportunity to meet a few celebrities. Let's see, we had some of our authors doing presentations and different things like that. We also met the guy who's on the news of Bakari Sellers. So there was a few celebrities there, and really that's what we want to do. We want to get all of us. We want to get all of us out. We want to get your books out. We want to get your stories out. We want you to share your story. So our final author who we will have, his name is Gregory Davis. Now his book, I don't need, look, let me bring him on. Let me bring him home. Let's give Mr. Gregory Davis a hand. Yay! Now, how are you, Mr. Davis?
I'm great. How are you doing, Shanita?
Good, good. Now, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
Well, I am born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Been here about 26, 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
My day job is a healthcare compliance, compliance auditor, and I write on the side, among other things.
Wow. And so what led you to get into writing?
Well, my first project is called Blood-Related, Tomorrow Never Came. And it's a true story, nonfiction, about my nephew that was murdered by one of my family members.
Wow.
And so I initially began journaling about it, but then I decided to actually write the book. So here's the book.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's a nice read. It's not long and drawn out. It's a short and impactful read. It focuses a lot on unresolved trauma, which is what I was dealing with during the time when I decided to write it. It deals with fatherlessness homes and the results of a fatherless home, and added some statistical information in there to kind of back it up. What I, the content of the book. But then I have another project as well that that's going to be out fairly soon. It's called Blood-Related True Crime.
Wow.
Now that book is going to be nice. And it is about these twins that were adopted by an older couple that owned a funeral home. And I made up a fictitious town in Arkansas called Pampa County. And and so they the father's business was old, and so the times had passed him up, and so he was losing business. So they devised a plan on drumming up his business by becoming serial killers.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, look, so I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up just a little bit. Marcia, she said she's read that book and it was deep. She read it in 2 days. Now, are we talking about that? We're talking about that first book, right?
Yes, we're talking about the first book.
Wow. Now that title for me was so impactful. Can you say that title again and show us the book?
Blood-Related, Tomorrow Never Came. And the reason why I titled it Blood-Related because, of course, we were blood. This is our family, right?
Right.
And Tomorrow Never Came. My nephew's name was Chris. So he would always, and this is a lead up to like 3 days until he was murdered. And so it's like my mom was planning a 4th of July family get together. And so, they were doing things and asking him to come over and help out with, whatever she needed help with. And he kept saying, okay, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Everything was put off until tomorrow. And tomorrow never. Yeah. So.
Wow. So in writing that book, do you tend to move on things faster, or do you say a lot, I'll do that later?
I wasn't like he was in terms of procrastinating, and I prioritize certain things. If I feel like something, I can't do everything in a day, so
absolutely.
I prioritize, and kind of get all the important things out of the way. And I say, okay, well, this may be able to wait until tomorrow, in the morning when I wake up or what have you. But with him, on the other hand, he was running the streets, so that's why he was so in a hurry to do other things and just putting other things off until tomorrow, so. It didn't move me like that, like I said, because I was never that type of person.
Mm-hmm. And I guess for me, because like that's one of the reasons why I like to have these different talks and chats with people, because just like when we said that quote in the beginning, you all had something different to say. And so for me, sometimes when I think about that, Tomorrow Never Came, it's like sometimes I have to stop myself and maybe give my daughter a kiss or something like that, because you just running and doing stuff and you just like, oh, okay. And just an example of that, one of the reasons why SHE Publishing LLC came to fruition, one of those reasons was my grandmother. So she was in a rehabilitation center, and I can actually talk about this and not cry about it right now, but she was in a rehabilitation facility. I wanted to know her story. I just wanted her to tell me about her story. And then she was about to, but I don't know why I felt like if she tells me something's going to happen. I don't know why my thought process was like that. I said, but we're going when you come home, we're going to do it. And then the next time I saw her, she was in hospice, passed away. And I never had the opportunity to even hear that story. Sure, so for me, when I hear your title, Tomorrow Never Came, it's like, I feel like there are some things right now that I'm going to stop and just do.
Yeah.
Because we're not promised the next day,
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so I absolutely love your title to your first book. And so the second book, is that a sequel to the first? Is it like it's a connection to that book, but it's more of a fiction book?
Yeah. There's a connection because we're still dealing with people that are family, right? So
okay.
So they were blood related, and then when they devised their plan, and then when everything started crumbling down, they were still blood related, but then they kind of went at odds with each other because of what they were getting ready to go through, so.
Okay. Now I don't want you to tell us this, but I know you needed a spin. So how long did it take you to write this book, and how long did it take you to get this spin that you were telling us about?
Which book you talking? The first one or the
The
second?
second one. The second one.
The second one. I would say it took me probably close to a year, because I was writing, I was stopping, writing again, and Xing things out, changing things up, waking up in the middle of the night, had an idea, let me go jot this down, and then I would stop, have a writer's block, and I would stop.
Mhm.
And then, but then when I met you, then, I know I needed to get on the ball. So finally got it finished.
Yes. So just a question. Was it easier going from nonfiction to fiction, and which do you enjoy more? Oh, that's an awesome question. You get a gift. You get a gift.
Well, I like fiction better because I control the narrative, and with the nonfiction, well, with this project, by this being so personal, I wanted to make sure that I had things right, in terms of, accurate information, important details. And I knew that it was going to, hurt some family members because, it's the truth, but with the fiction project, I mean, I just free flowed with it, just made up things that I thought was going to be, jumping out at people when they read it. And, it was fun to write, it's just a matter of, getting it out on time, but yeah, I like fiction better, to answer your question.
Wow. And then I wanted to take it back to a question that was asked earlier. So in this particular book, I'm gonna go to the first book, because the first book we know was a nonfiction book.
Right.
So I can imagine what the hardest part of the book was, but what was the hardest part and what was the easier part?
The hardest part for me was, as I'm writing and getting all the content together and talking to my brothers and sisters, and, I found myself getting angry all over again, not about my family member murdering Chris, but by Chris putting himself in that position after we, tried to mold him and mentor him. It's four brothers. And then we have a younger sister that was close to his age. But anyway, so we provided him with, I felt like we provided him with all the tools he needed, but the streets just kept calling him, We tried to get him involved and show him things that we were doing, things that he could do, we would help him to do to be successful. I even brought him down here a couple of times to live with me, to get on his feet and get away from Little Rock, but it just kept calling him back, So, and today, I think about what he would be doing if he was still here today. My other nephew, which is his brother, he's a successful barber in Atlanta. Would you be enjoying going back and forth from, Little Rock to Atlanta, Little Rock to Dallas and stuff like that? So that was one of the hardest parts to write, because it just brought back all the memories of when we were younger. And he's like a little brother to us. He was raised in the house with us, So the easiest part was, when I got close to the end, and we started talking about unresolved trauma, So, and as I was writing about that, I realized that that's what I had been going through all those years, So, and I was able to kind of like deal with it, address it better with myself, and so actually writing the book helped me out a lot. And people that have bought the book, I was really surprised that a lot of people that bought the book reached back out to me and said, "Hey, my same thing. We're going through family trauma, unresolved trauma, and all that kind of stuff there." So this book actually helped out a lot of people, So I was, and that's one of the real good things about it, and it made me proud to. I was proud on one end to write it, but then when I got a lot of feedback, from people that have purchased it, so that more or less brought it home to me, So.
Right. I think that's so for me, it's not about the money. Yes, we want the royalties and all that kind of stuff, but when it can touch somebody's life
Yeah.
or is relatable to someone else and you can have those conversations, that's what saves people, because then they learn, how did you get over it? Or maybe, you're available to them to answer some of those questions
Right.
that they will have. And when you were talking, so I just have really two more questions, but when you were talking, it kind of reminded me of Antonius, the new book that he's going to be putting out, titled Allure, and exactly what he was saying sounds like what was kind of going on. And Chris is kind of a situation.
Right.
Now I just wanted to touch on, because this kind of happens when authors write books that are nonfiction and it includes family or something like that, you just might get that pushback, that perspective of, nah, why did you do that? I don't want to talk to you anymore. Or, wow, thank you for sharing that because I didn't know. Which did you get the most of?
I only actually the only pushback I got was from my sister, which
Okay.
was Chris's mother, and during the
Okay.
time when he was going through his death, she was at a dark time in her life, and so I wrote about that, and she didn't like how she was depicted. However, I wasn't telling any lies, and before I even put it to paper like that, I consulted with her, let her know what I was getting ready to do. Now, I don't know if she thought that I was going to embellish a little bit and leave out some things, and I let her know it's going to be a real book, and it's going to, step on some toes, but this, I need your blessing. So she gave me her blessing, as well
Okay.
as my niece and my nephew, which were her other two children. They because they gave me their perspectives on when that happened, when they got the news. So I incorporated all of that into the book. Now, I do have some like nieces and nephews that were younger, like 1 or 2 back, and they never got to know Chris. So in reading this book, this helped them out a lot in terms of getting to know him during that time, because they were 2, 3, 4 years old, and they remember, vaguely remember him keeping them, babysitting or what have you, and they didn't know that side of him, so that was shocking to them. But however, it was a good type of a feedback that they provided, Yeah.
Wow. So how can people get your first book, and how can they connect with you?
There's 2 ways to get the first book. The first book, it's on Amazon, and I think last I checked, it's at a discounted price. The only issue is I cannot sign it for them. So to order directly from me, they can go to gdavis.conscriptor, conscriptor @outlook.com, and they can order it that way, and I can autograph it and ship it out. And of course, I just gave my email, so that's how they can get in touch with me as well if they have any other questions.
Okay, can you repeat that information?
All right, so it's let me look at it to be sure. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Make sure I know. Oh no, that's not it. All right, so it's going to be come on. G Davis, G as in George, DAVIS .conscriptor, CONSCRIPTOR @outlook.com.
Okay. And just to let the viewers know, this is the cover of your second book, Blood-Related True Crime. And that book will be available again on Amazon. Whoever picks it up, Barnes & Nobles, it could be Target, it could be Walmart, it could be eBay, but it certainly will also still be on the ShePub, which is our bookstore. You will be able to purchase that, and it will come in some great packaging, keepsake packaging. But I'm looking forward to this book coming out. There will be pre-orders at our SHE Conference and Networking Convention. And I don't believe you're going to be in attendance at that event, but that's totally okay.
Unfortunately, I will not be, but 2023, you're going to see so much of me, you're going to get tired of me.
Hey, we were just in Texas.
I know, but you were in Houston, though.
I know. We gotta get over there on that side.
But that's fine, though. You know, if I wasn't busy, you know, I would have probably jetted down. But when you were in Houston, I was in Arkansas.
Oh man,
I was attending a wedding in Arkansas, so I couldn't.
All right.
Yeah, but now, do you plan on do you guys plan on being here between now and the end of the year in Dallas Fort Worth, or?
No, our next stop is the ATL. So Atlanta.
When is that?
That's in December 17th and 18th.
Okay, I may try to make that, and I'll talk to you offline.
Okay.
What's going on, but I think I'll try to make that. I'm gonna see what's going on with that. Yeah.
All right. Look, we try to be deep when we go, so we can make a greater impact together. You know.
No doubt. Yeah, I completely understand. I did a book signing in Atlanta when I was in Atlanta, Houston, Little Rock, and here when the book came out over a year ago. Everything was very successful. I sold out in all the venues.
Wow.
It was bananas. So I just kept having to order books. Because like I said, I don't mind people going to Amazon to order. It's just that they try to chase me down, like, especially when I go back to Arkansas, they's like, hey, I want you to sign my book. I was like, you know, I'm moving around right now, you know, and people would get mad at me because I say, I'm here right now. I'll be here for the next 20 minutes. And then they come in 30 minutes and I have to move on, you know.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, so he's like, oh, you think you big time now? Nope, I do not. It's just that, you know, it's like, I try to, and I try to drive them to me so you can get a signed copy. You know, like I said, I do appreciate them going to Amazon and the other avenues to get them. But if you want an autographed copy, then, you know, I send those out to you myself. You know, so.
Right. Well, I definitely want to get a copy of an autographed copy of all your books.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, hey, I know him, y'all. I know him.
I would be honored. Only thing I ask is provide me feedback. You know, I want to know, you know, how it moved you, if it moved you, you know, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being a part of the ShePub network. And again, you are a nominee now of that award. So if you have any guests, even if they're not here now, they can log on, they can say their name, where they're from, and that you invited them. And that just moves you up on the ladder of getting that award. And then if any of the authors were to get an award and they were not present, we would definitely ship that award to them.
Sure. One last thing.
Mm-hmm.
I recommended somebody else to you that's going to probably be reaching out to you within the next couple of days. Yeah. They have a project that they're finishing up on, and they asked about a publisher, and I told them about you. So,
wow, y'all know that just touches my heart. Like, I truly appreciate, you know, your support. And I tell you, when I go out, so we have another banner being made. So your book is actually on one of these banners.
Okay.
It's it's on that banner right over there. Okay. You probably can't see it, but when I go out, I try to support you all, because when they see me, they see you. And when they see you, they see me. So I don't know how many times I have to say it, but we make a greater impact together than alone. And then you get in front of other authors' audiences.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's about the message is what it's about.
Sure.
And so, and I totally appreciate you. And, you know, I like to deliver, you know, I like to deliver good service, you know, and I want to do all that I can to market. Although I'm not a publicist, I'm just a publisher. I still want to do whatever I can to ensure the success of all the authors.
Right. Yeah, sure. And I appreciate that. And I spoke highly of you and the company, and that's what made them interested to be a part. So I think she's finishing up on a project, and then I think she's going to reach out to you, because I told her that, you know, when I reached out to you, I wasn't ready, and you had me, you know, I was like, oh, I need to get it ready, you know. So,
but look, this is at your own pace. It is at your own pace.
Yeah, but you know, I wanted to be out at a certain time. I really wanted to be out during the holidays so I could do a 2-for-1 type of situation. But
yes.
It's okay, you know.
Look, we can make that happen, okay? You ask some other people. We done published books in a month.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do all that we can to get that out. And I'll be reaching out to you so that we can talk about some other logistics.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
All righty. Well, thank you for being a part of the show, and talk with you soon.
Yeah. Thank you. You have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for being with us yet again. And I'm going to let y'all know, we have a bonus show. So this was a bonus show. We have a bonus show tomorrow. We will be interviewing 2 or 3 authors from the ShePub network. I mean, no, from the She family. I'm so sorry. We're going to be interviewing them tomorrow at 7:00. So come on back, and thank you so much for being a support to the authors.